Hello, y'all, Searching Spy here. Back with you with another banger. Wait. I need to change real quick. Be right back. I did that. As you can see, I'm going to be reacting to Girl in All Blue School. Let's look at this.
Hi, my name is Cicely, and my story
My horrible life.
is crazy. I still can't believe that this actually happened to me. Let me tell you how I became the most
Of course you can't.
popular girl at school because I was the only girl at school. Growing
the
up,
boys were-
I was a very nice girl.
The boys are going to go insane. So today they will be like, hell yeah, now we got business.
I constantly got in trouble and refused to listen to what my parents told me to do. Mom and Dad weren't too happy about me, and they tried everything.
Yeah. Does anyone have any clue why? Give me a second. Hopefully you can. Okay, let me continue.
To set me straight. I can tell you right now that nothing worked. I would
Did you see that smile?
get suspended at school constantly.
Have you ever been suspended? I think it's called expelled.
It was a mess. Looking back, I understand that I should have acted differently. Back
Yeah, you
then,
probably
though,
should have.
I thought I was so cool for acting up the way I
Who
did.
the heck
Worse
didn't?
still, when I entered high school, I began hanging out with the wrong crowd. I still
What
don't
do you
understand
mean?
how I got tangled up with them. I went to public school since my parents couldn't afford a fancy private institution.
Of course they
So
couldn't.
there were all kinds of teenagers there. The nice kids, the hardworking kids, the rebellious kids.
Yeah.
You know, all the cliques that you can join.
You're gonna be on
Well,
the
I started
rebellious.
hanging out with a really bad group. They skipped class all the time.
Yeah.
Spoke back to the teachers.
How the hell
and
do
they
you
were
know if
always
they were
getting
bad?
in trouble.
You
Really, I think
were
at
in
least
it.
one of them was sent to the principal's office almost daily. They had a terrible reputation
Huh?
at school, and they
Huh?
really.
Daily?
I thought they were so cool. Of course, I was wrong, but when I was younger,
Of course
it seemed
you
like
were
a fun
wrong.
way
Of
to act.
course.
So I began trying so hard to be just like them. I dressed like they
You were
did
trying
and started
so
rebelling
hard,
against
but you
everything
couldn't do
and
it.
anything. My parents, teachers, authorities, whatever I could protest against,
Wait,
I did it.
authorities?
My parents wanted me to eat all the meat on my plate. I said I was a vegetarian. If I did poorly at school, I claimed I was making a stand against the system. The worst part is that I loved studying and often knew the right answers during the exams. But I didn't want my friends to think that I was a nerd, so I failed
Oh my
on
God.
purpose. My parents were
So
in way
bad.
over their heads, and they didn't know what to do about me any longer.
Of
They
course
were
you
really
didn't.
worried that I was throwing my life away, and I wouldn't be able to pick up the parts later on.
Well,
When I finally
of
grew
course.
up, I would be haunted by my past behavior, and it would be too late to change
Well, you are.
it. So they began searching for options. What could they do to make me understand I was making a big mistake? Or at
Nothing.
least to finally set me straight. That was when
Absolutely
Lawrence
nothing.
came into the picture. Lawrence is terrific, but back then I thought he was so annoying. He was serious and worked so hard, and to me that was lame.
Well,
I
who
now
didn't?
understand that he loves his job, and
I
more
should
importantly,
start putting
he
that
loves to
clip
help
up.
people out, especially his family.
Of
That
course,
was why
because
he
it's your
decided to
family.
talk to my parents and try to find a way to lead me down the right path once and for all.
That's impossible.
Lawrence ran a very prestigious school, and he wanted me to go there, free of charge. It meant that I could be a student at a really strict and prestigious institute, and my parents wouldn't be limited by their income. The
What
only
the heck?
problem was his school only admitted boys, and I was very much so a girl. I loved wearing short
course
dresses
you
and
were
kept my
a
hair long,
girl.
so it was impossible to hide that fact even for a minute.
Smile again.
So he decided to find a loophole to allow me to apply. He changed the rules for just a year and allowed girls to be admitted as an exception, but
Yeah.
didn't announce it anywhere. So the only ones
Probably.
who knew this happened were my mom and dad. I got a scholarship thanks to my uncle's influence with the school's board of directors.
Of course.
And he
Why
even
not?
paid for my uniform. Of course, I didn't want to wear it, and I got into a nasty argument with mom and dad about it.
Nasty,
They finally got
if you know
their
what I
way,
mean.
and I left for school with my uniform on. I was super annoyed and ready to rebel that very same day with every teacher who talked to me. Much to my
Of course.
surprise, the school was really nice. The hallways were big and beautiful.
You
and the
were in a private
classrooms were
school.
huge, and the size of my locker, it was amazing. Perhaps
could
it
fit a
wasn't
person
so bad
in there.
after all, I thought to myself. And then I began looking around and noticed that all the guys were so cute. I was amazed.
It's
Even
an
better,
all-boys
all
school.
of them seemed stunned to see me there. I loved the attention and shortened my skirt a bit to highlight my long legs. Of course, that only made them stare at me all the more. I loved every second of it. The moment the lunch
If
break
you know what I
arrived,
mean.
they all rushed to me and offered to pay for my meal. In fact, as long as I studied there, I never once had to pay for anything I decided to eat or drink.
This girl's
Guys would always
spoiled.
buy yummy lunches as well as snacks for me. They would lavish me with attention and wanted so badly for me to pay attention to them. They were really not used to having a girl around so often.
Of course. It's
Sure,
an
they
all
got to hang out
boys
with women
school.
when they left school, but for most of their days, they were locked up with other guys. So I
Locked
was
up,
really
if you know what I
involved,
mean.
and everyone in my class wanted to date me. Of course, I
There
said
came the
yes
twist.
often. I was treated like a princess and always pampered by my dates. Guys would try to outdo each other and bought me all kinds of beautiful gifts. I accepted them all graciously
Wow.
and flirted back every single time. The problem was, I liked so many of them. I couldn't make up my mind.
Wow.
So I tried to push my luck and asked the guys who asked me out on dates if they would mind sharing me. Much to my surprise, most of them said yes. The ones who said no, I just dumped. It wasn't a nice thing to do, but I
Of course
had
it wasn't,
so many
'cause you're
options back
spoiled.
then that I didn't really mind if they didn't want to speak with me any longer. After a while, though, even those who weren't sure if they wanted me dating other guys asked me for a second chance. After all, I was the only girl around, and so I had all the
Yeah.
winning cards. At first, dating so many guys at the same time was so much fun. I
And
got
then
to
it
go out
became
for dinner
exhausting.
every single night. I never paid.
Yeah.
In Afghanistan, I saw a lot of courage, but nothing like MJ Hagar. Injured, she strapped herself to a helicopter and returned fire so that wounded soldiers could be
Really?
airlifted out.
Really?
How broken Washington is,
Really?
we need a
I'm
senator
from
like
Texas,
MJ
but,
who
like,
isn't afraid of the tough
Just
fights.
don't.
For anything.
No,
I
ads.
got lots of gifts.
Wait, how long
I
is this
enjoyed
video?
myself and got to be with
My
some
God!
hot boys. The problem was, after a while, I just wanted some time for myself. I wished I could stay in and study or rest a few days a week, but I was so busy with the constant dates I was asked on. Also, I began
Yeah.
realizing that some of the guys who had been friends for years were starting to fight and argue constantly. I felt terrible
Yeah.
about this. They were all
Yeah,
so
you're
lovely,
spoiled, so
and I
that's
didn't
why.
want to be the reason why their friendship ended. It got so bad that my uncle, Lawrence, ended up calling me to his office. He asked me why there was so much tension in my classroom, and I finally broke into tears. I confessed that I didn't know how to stop the problems I had started and that I was really happy at this school. I didn't want
Probably.
to mess up again as I had in my previous class. I didn't know
Probably.
what to do since I didn't want to break up with my boyfriends and have them all hate me. So my uncle asked me if I was really trying to change and be a better person. I said I was and promised I would work much harder on my studies if he helped me
Yeah,
out.
that's a
Lawrence
lie.
had a brilliant idea and he prohibited dating between students. That helped me out so much. I couldn't go out with any of them without breaking the rules and had the perfect excuse to say no without them getting mad at me. Everything
Makes
seemed to be
sense.
fine until I began having morning sickness. Mom took me to the doctor, and to our shock, we discovered that I was pregnant. Mom demanded to know who the father was, but I didn't know. I was devastated and apologized profusely for acting the way I had. I explained that I knew I had messed up and I shouldn't have let the situation get so messed up.
I wonder
was
how
mad at me,
many
of course.
fathers.
Still, she was relieved that I was finally changing my ways and taking responsibility for my actions.
I can't believe
My
it.
parents ended up helping me deal with
Can't
my pregnancy,
believe it.
and they really were lifesavers. I couldn't have done it without them. I still don't
Of course
know
you
who the
couldn't
father
have.
of my child is, but I don't care any longer. One of the guys who had taken me out, Ryan, wasn't dissuaded by the no dating rule. He kept asking me to go out with him again and again. He explained that he really was in love with me and that I wasn't a silly
That's a
freak.
lie.
Even
That's a
when I
huge
explained
lie.
that I was pregnant, he still insisted that he wanted to be my boyfriend. I was so surprised. We began dating in secret so my uncle wouldn't get mad and suspend us. After a while, though, when we were
Back
really
out.
sure our relationship was serious, we ended up coming clean. My uncle accepted us dating as long as I didn't keep going out
Yeah.
with any of the other guys. Ryan was so amazing to the baby and me. He is the sweetest guy in the world, and he loves me for who I am. That is so rare in a guy. I'm studying hard to graduate from
Yeah.
college, and Ryan helps me study and babysits my kid often so that I'm not so stressed out. The baby could honestly
Okay.
be his biologically, but we don't want to do a test.
Why is
He told
this
me he
my
loves baby
horrible
and that he'll be
life?
there for us no matter what.
Horrible.
I think that he is going
This-
to propose tonight. He's been like a father to my baby, and I can't imagine being with anyone else.
How is this
I felt
horrible? I
utterly
would
in
love
with him,
this.
and I can already see us spending our entire lives
Of course, I'm
together
a
and
boy,
giving my
but
baby lots
still,
of
I would
brothers
love
and
this. This
sisters.
is not horrible.
Ryan also helped me put my life back together, and he's always been there for me when I need him. My parents and Uncle Lawrence adore him. I know they'll approve of us getting married. Thank you for watching. Have you ever gotten yourself in a mess you didn't
You know, thank you for giving me great material. That was cringy, but hey.